I have a book in me. This is my friend, my brother.
Thank you, Kelly and Oliver.
I'm a multi-award winning best-selling author.
If you want to start a new business, I suggest you write the book on it.
God woke me up at 2:30 in the morning and I wrote a book.
Some of you got books already. Some of you got novels already.
The lead generator is the book.
You write a book, you leave a legacy to your children.
And I hope you guys listen to these guys so they know what they're talking about.
All right, what's up, everybody? It's the publisher, Mr. Kelly Cole.
It's the writing coach, Dr. Oliver T. Reid.
Welcome to Books-N-Brothas podcast. Today, we got a special guest. You see his bright smile if you're watching, but for the people that's listening, introduce yourself. We got my main man, Monte. Let the people know a little bit about you, my friend.
Hey, brother. It's a pleasure to be here. Again, I'm Monte Sanders, man. I'm from a small town in Georgia called Savannah, Georgia. Small country boy. Yeah, small country boy, man. And just grew up in the projects, man. But everything my parents worked for, man, they sent us to good schools. So I was living in the projects, but we was going to good schools. And they just laid a foundation on us, brother. And I just went through life like every other man and going through college and the college life and found myself lost, man, for a while. And thank God it took some hard truths, some hard life lessons to get me back focused. And I've been focused ever since.
Wow. So I didn't know that. So you were actually born in the projects as well? You know, I was born in projects in Chicago.
Oh, yeah, man. Every Saturday, get up there to get that free lunch. Yeah, man.
That free lunch.
Yep.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Charlotte in the projects too. So we got a lot of projects on this podcast today. We got a lot of projects.
Wow.
But look at where we all are now, man. God is good. Man. We can start by saying that. So cool, man. So you wrote a book, The Power of You versus You. First, kind of tell us your journey. So how did you become, most people don't know this, you are a fitness instructor, right? Is that the correct title?
Yes, group fitness trainer.
All right. How did you, tell us a little bit about your journey of how you became to that, coming from the projects to a fitness trainer before we get into the book?
Well, basically, because my parents afforded us with great education, I ended up graduating after some issues. And after graduating, I got the job because that's what they told us as young men, you know, go to school, graduate and get the job. And then I found myself, man, just being empty on the inside. You know, I'm driving an hour to work, an hour home, and I'm just like traffic every day. And it just wasn't sitting right in my spirit, but I kept working out. That's the one thing I always kept doing. I kept working out. And to make a long story short, man, I talk about a little bit in the book, man, how I just walked off the job, man. And I lost a lot of family, a lot of friends, a lot of frat brothers, and a lot of everything. What are you doing? You know, but I just kept working out. And then it was a great opportunity that a good friend of mine that used to play with the Steelers and the Ravens, and this was after the Ravens won the Super Bowl. And he was like, man, you got to come over and meet Ray Lewis. Talk to me about him. I knew it was good. We went, man, and me and Reid found ourselves talking. He was talking about the Bible. I'm like, man, at that time, I was spiritually prayed up. Remember, I was getting insight like, okay, God, this job ain't for me. Okay, I'm gonna have to do blind faith. So I got a college degree and I'm on unemployment. I'm on food stamps and I'm working out. That was my routine. And then my boy called. And then after a while, Ray was like, what you doing tomorrow, man? I was like, I'm working out. He was like, I'm working out too. Why don't you come through? And I came through, man. And at the end of the workout, he said, man, I ain't never had nobody finish a workout with me. I got to have you with me full time. And 20 years later, man. Yeah, 20 years later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. What you got?
You know, I'm shaking my head because it's a powerful story, man. You still kept working out. You know, I think that part of that constant discipline, you know, just from listening to that part of your story, I found a lot of common threads, and what kind of stuck out to me was discipline. Discipline. And so I always ask, you know, our guests when they come on, what was going through your mind? You say you lost frat brothers, you walked off. What was going through your mind at the time while you were working out? Was working out, let me reframe the question, was working out like your stress reliever, or was that your go-to? Explain that process.
One thing, I wasn't thinking about being no trainer. So since we was little kids, man, I was the sports guy. I was on the football, basketball team, track team. You know, I'm on the high school team, football team, team captain. Then I messed up my knee my junior year in high school. But after that, I still kept working out. So even when I was going through my trials and tribulations as a young man, that's the one thing that was constant. So when I walked off my job, lost a lot of people, that was my fuel to keep going, just to keep working, just to keep bettering myself. Almost like that movie with Reuben Hurricane Carter.
Yeah.
When he was in the jail cell and he said he decided to use his body. I was in that type of mode. Those were the type of movies I was looking at. And then that one opportunity came, man. And so that's why I wrote about it in the book, man. If you're working for something and you believe in it, it may not come to you right then, but just be prepared for it when that moment comes.
Yeah, that's powerful, because one of the things, man, I always believe in is this. You know, you can't help what you don't have, but you can prepare everything you do. So if you're hungry and you ain't got no food, you can prepare the pots. Put some water on it. If you got water, put them on the stove. And that's all you were doing. You were in there like, listen, I'm gonna present my body as a real sacrifice, right? And I'm gonna just keep going, bro. That's amazing.
Blind faith, man.
Blind faith.
Blind faith.
So from that day, you met Ray. He said, I gotta have you with you every day. And you've been with Ray for 20 years since. Tell us about that friendship and how it's developed over these 20 years.
Well, man, it became more than just him going to Pro Bowls. And it became more than him just meeting the physical goals that he wanted to meet that season. Because we spent so much time, 3 to 4 workouts a day, man, we became brothers. And so the things that he was weak in or needed, I was spiritually full of that. See, by the time I walked off my job, I mean, I was into the word like day and night. Yeah. So by the time he met me, what was missing in his life, I was able to fill him with that. So we became brothers, man. We became like, okay, we doing this, but what's more important than football? Okay, what's our assignment? Okay, how we gonna represent the kingdom? You know what I mean? How are we gonna be as men? How are we gonna live the rest of our lives? What our legacy gonna be beyond sport? And so we just sharpened each other, man. Iron sharpened our iron. So you know how important it is to be the importance of your circle around you. So you got to have people around you that's really hungry for the same thing, man. That's what we had, man. So when Ed Reid came along, he came into a fire. And so when the readers out there read the forward that he had wrote for me, he was like, yeah, this guy, he's out training, but he's coming out there like he in the league, because that was my mindset. Like, I had to do the workouts too. You know, so it wasn't like, oh, okay, we got this trainer. He's going to tell us to do 2100s. Oh, good job coming in. Good run. You should stretch a little more. No, I had to get in there and do the workout too. And that was my value. My value was that I could do what I was telling them to do. And I'm 7, 8 years younger than them. I mean, older, excuse me. And so I had gained much respect for them when it was time to go to bed at night. And, you know, these young men, you know, when it was time to have certain companies and all that, I was disciplined. I was like, man, the workout started at 6:30. So I'm out there stretching at 6 because I just can't get up and walk out there like they get ready to walk out there. There's 2 of the best athletes in the world. Right. So I was doing stuff like that, man. And all that work in the darkness just prepared me for that. It was amazing. So we just came together as brothers and just started to realize, wait a minute, this is beyond physical. This is about our mind, body, and spirit. And so that's what I wrote about in the book, man. Most people want to come to me and they want to lose weight. And I'm talking to them about, okay, hey, Monte, I want to lose 50 pounds. And my question is, do you believe you can lose 50 pounds?
Yeah.
And so me as a trainer, through my years of doing this over 20 years, when somebody come to me with a weight loss issue or something like that, I know that's just a symptom. Like, that's the fruit of it. Underneath it is something else going on. And so without me getting into religion and politics, which I do not do, I just try to encourage people in a positive way, man, and get them to find that strength that they need from within. And that's what we wrote about.
That's good. Go ahead, bro.
No, I love it, man. You're speaking my language, bro. I'm so excited because as I look over and see that bright smile, man, that's depth to you. And so I want you to kind of speak to people who get labeled. It seems like what I love about you and hearing your story so far, you didn't get stuck in the label of just being this physical trainer. I'm hearing more of you talking about intellectual mindset as opposed to reps, as far as physical reps. Talk about that, man. How did you break that stigma? Because I know some friends who are trainers and just that's what they get stuck. I'm a trainer, right? Or what they do identifies them. How did you overcome that, man? Being around all this greatness, I mean, famous people left and right. You on the field, you know. You got backstage. How do you maintain your authenticity, man?
Well, that's the thing, man. When you talk about a trainer and somebody want to come to you and they say they want to lose 20 pounds, that may be all they want to do is you to just teach them what they need to do to lose that weight. What I found out was there was a lot of people like me. I was physically strong, but spiritually dead. Mm-hmm. And I found a lot of people that were spiritual, go to church and Bible study every Tuesday, don't care about their health as much as they do their spirit. Mm. Then I found out there are people that love their intellect, smart people, brilliant business people, but they don't care about their bodies as much as they do their intellect. Mm-hmm. And so, brother, what I found out, it was a battle within me. I was battling my mind, body, and spirit. I was cool with working on the body, but when all the parties were done and everything, with all the lights went out, that spirit side of me was empty. And so what made me different was, sure, I want you to lose the 20 pounds, but I also don't want you to be the coworker at work nobody get along with. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so it's just about an environment and a culture of just positivity, man, and encouraging each other beyond the physical. So I've had people that now come and train with us. It's beyond the physical. They just love the environment. Mm-hmm. And so what I discovered, man, in the world trying to get to it, you know, they be like mind, body now. Now they being like mind, body connection. But nobody won't say that spirit word because that's who we really came from and that's who we really are. Yeah. But they stay away from that. So I've been blessed, man, not to put myself in a box. Sure, I could train the best athletes in the world. Anybody want to lose weight? That's easy for me. The hard part is you trying to get you to think in the right way so you can understand your strength that you have within.
That's dope, man. Yeah, man. All right. So I'm blown away. Which I knew this is the type of episode we was going to have today. But let's transition into how long did you want to write a book? So how long was this book in your spirit?
It's twofold, man. This book been in me, let's see, it's 2021. So I at least say 10 years. I even go back even further when Reid and Ed was playing. You need to write a book. You need to write a book. Mm. And here I am. Reid retired in 2012, and my book is out in 2021. So the seed has already been in me. Mm-hmm. But what I found through my study and reading the Word of God, that it's a season for everything. Yep. And if I would have wrote it early, there's two things would have happened. I would have left out so much. Mm-hmm. And number two, anything that I would have made profit off of it, I would have lost it because I knew nothing about management. And so it's twofold. The book been in me over a decade, but man, if I would have really regret, I should have been wrote that book, I would have lost it all. So again, spending time in your spirit and the Holy Spirit within, it guides you, just like how I found your group. I just call. And you know, I don't play no games. I'm too old to play games and I'm too old to play with God. You know, it's like, call. I'm just like, I'm gonna call. Okay, ask him this question. And you answered it. Answer him this question and you answered it. I'm showing my wife, read this, because it sounds kind of like it's everything covered in there. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then it worked out. Then I emailed you, emailed back. Then you sent the follow-up email. I'm like, wow, okay, excellence, professionalism. But I got to have my wife check it. She read it. She said, wow, it's great. And here we are today, man. The book is done. And it really comes down to what you believe in. If you believe in the book, then you have no problem investing. If you really believe in what's inside of you can make a difference, you don't have problems investing. I had somebody invest in me just because they believed in me. And wow, it's all good now. But that's just the power of understanding that whatever you invest in, that's what you're going to get out of it. If you don't make no investment, you're not going to get nothing out of it, you know? And you get what you pay for. And all those times that I called you, text you 10 o'clock at night, which may be early to some people, but it's late for me, texting you early in the morning, Keon responding to emails right away, Anitra, me and her texting back and forth after sessions. To me, that was worth every penny and even more. So to me, as a first-time writer, bro, it was amazing because, number one, you answered all my questions, but your group made me feel at home. So when I followed through with that, here we are. Amazon bestseller list, man. And I'm being invited from churches to football organizations to leadership groups to government organizations, and the list goes on, just from writing the book. Everything you told me the first day we talked. And so if there's anybody out there that's listening and you thinking about it, you know, no better group, in my opinion, to start with.
I appreciate that so much, bro. Most, like you said, man, most people, they get scared of the investment and they don't realize the doors that the book opened. Like, you were who you were before the book, right? How has the perception of you changed since you released the book and it hit the bestsellers list?
Just opportunity to reach more people in that aspect. The Baltimore Ravens, I would always do workout camps for them, but now they calling me to be a part of their book of the month, and I'm excited about that. Just a different opportunity to touch people in a different way, just besides the workouts. Again, the workouts for me is like doing books for you guys. It's the easiest thing. But if I could touch people in other ways, that's what the book has provided me. When I'm going to churches, most churches don't call me and say, hey, Monte, let's have a fitness workout. But now I'm getting opportunities to talk in churches and talk to them about the mind, body, and spirit. And it gives me an opportunity to talk to them about the health of the body and how it all works together. So the book, man, is bringing opportunities that I feel like I don't even see them all yet. Like it's endless.
Wow, powerful. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I'm just shaking my head, man, because this is amazing because it's a part of you put in the work. You know what I mean? You were already who you were, but then you put in the work, and then you were also teachable, you know, as well as how you coach other people. And it's something that's so powerful, man. And just the opportunity. And I get excited about when I see people kind of just like, hey, leap out there, do what they need to do, get that book written. Because I know the plight of trying to write a book. A lot of people don't realize that, you know. I was like, man, I wish I would have had somebody who helped me in the beginning when I first started writing books. So that's important. Let me ask this question about the book. Twofold question. The first question is, when did that light turn on when you say I'm going to write the book? Because you talked about the 10-year process. But when was it like, okay, I know you called and you reached out, but what was it like, man, I got to do it now? Was there urgency? What was it that say, hey, I got to do it now?
The pandemic, when COVID came, and I felt like the Holy Spirit inside of me was telling me that God was giving the world a time out. And as time went on, I started to think, how do I maximize my time doing here? What is it that he want me to do that I haven't done? And so now I couldn't give myself any excuses about not having time. You know, I finished the book during the pandemic. And so for me, it's about coming out the pandemic better than I was before I went in. Something that was inside of me 8 to 10 years manifested during a time of crisis. And I was able to connect with a company that was able to answer so many questions as a first-time book writer. And that's what's triggered. That was the light. Like, no more excuses. God then gave the world a time out. Now is your time to write the book. And end up giving Kelly a call.
I remember the first time we talked, and you was like, bro, you was straight up. You was like, I don't do this. You said, I don't look at ads on Facebook and click them and go through the process.
Yeah, I really don't, man. I really don't. But I was so in tune with the Holy Spirit. You know what I mean? When I connect with it, it's not a stranger to me.
Yeah.
And even when I called and followed up, I still wasn't convinced. I was just more out of obedience. You know what I mean? But it was the time to write it. But I said, you answered all the questions. Everything that I thought was a solution, you submitted the problem. I mean, a problem you submitted the solution to. And so to me, man, that was priceless. to me, you took away so much stress, man, as a first-time book writer, man. I can't emphasize that enough. I'm not trying to, I'm not getting paid for none of this. He didn't ask me to talk about this. I know I'm here to talk about the book. But man, when you got a good product, a great product, it's important that you really give credit to where it is really due. And you got a good deal.
Definitely, man. I want to ask the second part of that question. Getting back to the book, what would be that number one takeaway from your book? Like this is the secret sauce of the book. That you say, hey, out all said and done, this is what I want you to do.
Take a look in the mirror. It's easy to look out a window, but it's hard to look in the mirror. And when you look in that mirror, it's that time of self-assessment, self-inventory. And I told people, if you got a business, before you start that business, you're going to do some type of inventory. What do I have? What is not using? What is selling? What's buying? But nobody, even during the time of a pandemic, not a lot of people would look in the mirror and say, what am I not doing? How can I improve? Whether it's my health, whether it's in my mental state, or whether it's my spiritual relationship with the Father. And so the one thing I think people will get away from this is, like I told them, if you're looking for perfection, it's not for you. This is about balance.
Yeah.
And what you should get out of the book is, wow, I really could spend just a little bit of time with my mind and my mental health, a little time with my body, and a little time with my spirit. So I'm in alignment with myself, because the worst battle I could have is the battle within me against myself. So it's like you really taking your power back and getting in alignment with you, taking all the excuses away, taking full responsibility for anything that didn't happen good or didn't get well, and asking God what your purpose is in life. What is your kingdom assignment? Why were you born? And ask God to reveal those things for you the way he did for me and for others. And live your path, but with a balanced mind, body, and spirit. Don't be like I was, like my crew was. We good physically. We ready to go to the beach and take our shirt off, but spiritually dead. And don't be in the group that if you're watching the news all day and it's bad news, you're going to become what you're watching. So I talk about time management with your mindset. Okay, you want to lose this 50 pounds, but why do you want to lose it? Oh, you want to lose it just for the wedding? Okay, we'll do that for the wedding, but after the wedding, it's going to come back if your why is not strong enough. If you don't have that deep self-love within you to love yourself enough to take care of yourself. And so that's what the one thing I hope that people would get out of it is, wow, I might have a strong mind. I don't have no mental problems. I'm kind of balanced. I'm not depressed. Wow, I go to the gym every day. I'm good with that. Yeah. But I haven't been spending any time with the Father. So it's always an area that we need to work on.
Dope. So talking about that balance, what is your daily routine? Like, do you have a daily routine, and what is that?
Yeah, man, I'm usually up about 3:45, 4 o'clock. I get up, that's my me time. I might do some prayers, some stretching, hydrate. That's my time. Now, because of COVID, I'm having to be here to take care of my daughter. So she get up at 7:30. So by the time she get up at 7:30, I pretty much done got my word in, and I got some good mental thing, maybe checked a couple of things after I've gone over my prayer. First thing I try to do is not grab my phone and just really spend some time with God. Then after I deal with her with school, because I do the intermittent fasting. So the first thing I do in the morning when I'm getting up is not thinking about what I'm eating for breakfast. I normally only eat to about 11:30 or 12. That's a whole nother thing with intermittent fasting. Yeah. But get her to school, man. Then I go get my workout in. I have me a nice healthy lunch. And by that time my wife is home, I get a chance to spend the time with her. And I check it out, spending time with her. But I done took care of my body. I done took care of my mind. I done took care of my spirit. And now it's the time for us to spend some family time and refine some things that need to get better with us in life. So I got a vision, man, that keeps my life narrow. You know what I mean? Like my vision, when you have a vision for your life, it keeps you disciplined. Without a vision, people perish. What that mean? They lack restraint, like they live loose life. But when you know where you're going and you have a vision, I already know what I'm not going to do. So I'm not going to do this. That don't correlate with me. You know, nobody can't call me and say, let's go out and do this, because that don't align with me getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So it simplifies my life. Yes.
Love it. Love it. Go ahead, bro.
Yo, I love it, man. I think that's so powerful. So you manage, you said something that I don't want to just graze over. Like you said some bars, like literally you said something like you keep your focus narrow. We live in a world that's like everything is macro. Like it's got to be big, go big or don't go at all. But what I hear you saying is keeping it narrow allows you to stay focused to do big things. If I'm hearing correctly, you correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what you're saying.
No, yeah, because when you have a vision for your life, it dictates the plan for your life. And when you have a vision for your life, you automatically know what roads won't lead you there. You know what I mean? When you have a vision for your life, you automatically know the things that you should not do, and you know the things that don't take you there. So it simplifies life. And so if I know I got to get up early, I got to work out, I got to motivate my people, I got 50 people waiting for a group workout, but I got to take care of this, I got to make sure I'm studying this, I got to keep learning this. Like it's a schedule, it's narrow. And to me, when you meet successful people, I've met a couple of people that I would consider successful beyond money. Their lives are simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's not complex. It's not going a million miles an hour. Yeah, it's about direction than it is about speed. So we got a world right now with the spirit of busyness, but not going nowhere. And so when you're able to not be a jack of all trades, but a master of your craft, then that's where you are. It's an assignment that God gave you to do. And anything you're doing outside of that, it might be good, but it may be preoccupying you. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the vision killers that I talk about. One of the vision killers is a misuse of time with preoccupation. So a lot of times the enemies try to have you doing something good, but not right.
Yeah.
And it's a big difference. So that's his new trick now. He know he can't get you to go out and steal. He know he can't get you to go out and do adultery and all that stuff. But if he can get you doing something good versus you doing the right thing, that's his trick now. So again, living a narrow life, that's when you clear on your vision, man. And everything, your life goes around that vision. Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Bars.
Hitting him in the head. He hitting him in the head. He said the enemy can get you to doing something good, but not the thing that you're supposed to be in alignment with. Right. So many people miss that. Well, Monte, listen, we're running out of time, bro. I want them to get all of your information. Where can they get an autographed copy of the book? Where can they book you to speak? And how can they connect with you online, bro?
Man, they can get the book and anything, man, at thepowerofyouversusyou.com. Again, thepowerofyouversusyou.com. You can follow us anywhere. MBS Fitness Lab. Again, the MBS is mind, body, spirit. MBS Fitness Lab. You can follow us there, man. And we just trying to do our part in this crazy world.
Man, thank you so much for being on, bro. This has been powerful. I know they're gonna love it when they hear this episode, man. Go ahead, bro. What you got before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'm just saying they're gonna love it, bro. That book is fire. Listen here, that book is fire. I gotta chime in and get my copy. So I'm just encouraging those who watch, you gotta get your copy. You versus you. If you can master you versus you, what else is there? Right?
Hey, once you look in the mirror and you done took the excuses away for everything good and bad, and then when you realize that you're a child of the King and that he gave you an assignment that specifically he blessed you and gave you the grace to do, it's power in that. It's power in knowing your power within, knowing you don't have to be nobody else. You got that own fingerprint, your own footprint out of 8 billion people, and we got 90% of people trying to be somebody else, not knowing that their power is them being themselves. Yeah.
Shut the podcast down. Shut the podcast down. Shut the podcast down.
We can't close it out no better than that. Listen, I want to challenge you. If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, I want to challenge you to share this with somebody. Make sure you subscribe to us. Make sure you're liking us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening or wherever you're watching it. On that note, bro, you got any final words before we close it out?
No, bro.
Hey, I just want to say thank everybody, man, that's already got the book. Thank you for your group, man, for giving me the opportunity to share what God has put in me all these years, man. People hear me and they just like, okay, wow, okay, that's great, but they don't understand the years and years and years in the car, on the way to work, on the way home. I'm using my car as like an incubator, just constantly listening to things that edify my mind. And I just want everybody to take a look at it, man, so they could get their strength from within. It's like we want to change the world in a pandemic. What I'm saying is work on yourself first, then affect your family will affect your community, and our communities will affect the nation. But let's start with ourselves first.
It's good. The Power of You versus You.com. That's the website.
Yes, sir.
Power of You versus You. Go get that book right now. Book my man Monte to come speak. And on that note, we're going to leave you with our famous quote. You don't have to get it right.
You just got to get it going.
All right. Thank y'all so much. Monte, have a blessed evening, brother.
You too. Thank you for having me, brother.
Thank you. All right, bro. See you.
See you later.
If you woke up this morning, it's a blessing. What a wonderful time it is to be alive.
I am happy, healthy, wealthy, whole. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, whole. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, whole. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, whole.
Happy, healthy, wealthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, wealthy, and whole.
I am happy, healthy, wealthy, whole. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, whole. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, whole. I am happy, healthy, wealthy,